How are you? Oh man, just finished up on a video.
To see if you could actually take off like where it connects in the buffer tube, but I think this is all just one piece, and then it clips in this little push pin, slides in there, and that locks it in place. So I don't think you can swap that out, but don't hold me to that either. Other than that, it's actually really nice to have a bow that has a magazine on it. Just the follow-up shots are, you load 5 in and they all work perfect, so can't argue with that. Now, if someone was interested in this, I would suggest probably this is going to be used for backyard plinking. I'd say it's more of like a fun backyard shooting crossbow, where hopefully, if you're not me and you're shooting into targets where you can actually collect the bolts from, you get a lot of
Alright. How do you do? This is going to be the crossbow stream. We're talking about crossbows tonight. How are ya? It seems that crossbows are a very effective weapon, even in the modern era. As I shot crossbows many times, there's a lot of great crossbows on the market these days, especially for self-defense, not just for hunting. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? Well, if you give me a like. Oh, what a happy day. Alright, if you just came in, give me a like. We're talking about crossbows. Yes, they will. There is a character in my story, Hunter, who has a recurve bow. He uses a recurve bow with iron-tipped arrowheads. So yeah, that's more than possible. Traditionally in history, for example, the old English longbowmen used to use iron-tipped arrows. They didn't use steel arrows. Steel was expensive, you know. They used iron arrows, iron-tipped arrows. A lot cheaper, and just as effective when it comes to a little arrowhead, you know. Now, in my story, our heroes find themselves at the last Goblin Gate. But there's a barricade that's been erected. You know, it's made of in the front. It's basically bronze plates. Bronze plates, I would say. It's a very large barricade. You know, very tall. Well, so does the king, Sig. Well, yeah, so does the king. Getting close to Halloween, people. I'm enjoying myself. You know, I'm gonna tell you, like, crossbows are awesome. They really are. I mean, they're quiet, they're effective. Um, they are. Ah! Well, I'm nowhere near Paris, Hempstead. Oh, how you doing, Apocalyptic? How you doing? How you doing? How's life treating you? It's very nice what you did with the, doing a lot of great stuff with that crossbow, you know? I would say mix it up a little bit, you know? Add some different things, like you can shoot your crossbow and then throw an axe. Now, it's no secret that my archery target, I built it myself. I'll show it over there. I built this archery target myself. It's homemade. So I recently been testing, doing some basically shooting with my crossbow. Yeah, I heard about that. Hempstead. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell how I made it, and this is a interesting story. I did a video about it. I had the idea. I just had some cardboard boxes lying around. Well, I wanted to basically fill it with something. So, for the backstop, I bought a whole bunch of puzzle mats, and I just had to cut them and layer them about this thick, about this thick. And then I put a thin layer of cardboard between it. Then I filled it up with curtain cloth, pretty much. It's curtain cloth. I filled it up, stuffed it with curtain cloth. Then I sealed it up with a Gorilla tape and Gorilla taped the ends off for water resistance. Then I basically did something similar with the duct tape. I used colored duct tape, and I basically covered it up, the whole thing. The whole target with colored duct tape, and that's how I did it. And eventually I had to basically, because the way it was teetering a lot, I had to basically put a base. I took a wooden crate, and so it wouldn't teeter, so it wouldn't fall. But yeah, you can make your own targets. I mean, I did with mine. This has been a very effective target. I had it for a while, and it's I never had to buy a target. I made it myself. It's been one of the most effective targets because I've layered it with different things. I've had this target for years. Never had to buy a target. Amen, Hardy Homestead. Amen. All right. Yeah. We're cutting old clothing. Oh, that's awesome, apocalyptic arrow shooter. That's awesome. I was watching a video about the Cobra Adder. Someone has actually another review of the Cobra Adder. This guy called Toxic Matrix, an airgun guy. He reviewed the Cobra Adder. So if I would suggest anything, if you're okay, although we're talking about crossbows, if you're going to get a crossbow for self-defense, I would suggest basically there's 3 ones on the market that I would suggest. Now, in America, I can get the Mini Striker. It's basically a very powerful crossbow, and it's got a maximum. It's very heavy duty. It's got a maximum range of like 70 yards. I can get that in America. It's made by Wilmington Archery. You can't get that in Europe, but you can get another version of that, which is made by, it's called the Ballista Bat repeating crossbow, which is very similar, except it has a closed magazine. The only difference. Well, what? Kusawa? Well, what? You got something to say? Say it. Show me some balls. Don't just say, well, what? Don't act stupid. I got the Joe Pesci attitude today, so don't. I worked hard today. Yes, it did end. Well, I would say get the smaller ballista bat, the one with the closed magazine for with bolts. I would say because it's a lot of power in a little package. It may be small, but it just, I've seen these type of crossbows. For example, the Mini Striker, the American version, which is the Mini Striker, has an open magazine. I've seen these things, like tested, and they penetrate deeper than basically a compound bow. For a little crossbow, I'm telling you, it hits hard. Don't do putting. Understandable, Nico, but it's not hard to shoot a crossbow. You'll find out. Crossbows are fun. I would say, I hope you got a good one, because if you bought a cheap pistol crossbow, that thing's going to wear down on you in maybe about a week. If you bought one for about $30, oh boy, you're going to get what you pay for. It's going to be terrible in the quality. I hope you didn't buy a cheap one. Yeah, they are good. They are very, very good. They can be used for home defense. Amen, Iron Man. Amen. I never make jokes about God. Ever. Okay, Misi, okay. Kasawa, okay, Kasawa. Well, that's good. Well, I hope to see some videos about it, Nico. You're a pretty good slingshot guy. Here's the thing. The reason I call myself Slingshot Warrior, well, number one is a story that happened a long time ago, because I shot a guy in the Adam's apple, and that's where I got that name, with a marble. And that was in self-defense, by the way. That guy was trying to break into my house and hurt my brother. So it wasn't. I wouldn't shoot a guy unless someone was a threat to me or my family. So ever mistake it. I never, I never shot a guy with a slingshot without probable cause. You know what I mean? I don't watch the Olympics, to be honest with you. I saw some footage of it, and it was disgusting. But I've never really been a big fan of the Olympics. Never really been. No, he didn't die, but he was down for the count. I'll put it that way. I got him right in the Adam's apple. I took the wind out of his sails, and I'll put it this way. It took him like a half a minute to get back up. That's so true. So true, Apocalypse. That's so true, Hardy Hermstead. So true, myself. People, these I'll tell you what. One of the best pistol crossbows you can get, like a version of that, is basically the steam bow. There's a new steam bow on the market, and it's awesome. It's got like a magazine that you can basically have like ready-made magazines, like a clip. You know what I mean? It's got. You can just put it in another magazine when you're done. Click, click. Amen, Iron Man. Yeah, it was. I don't know any. I've seen some pictures of it. On YouTube, but basically, here's the thing. I never watch the Olympics. I really don't. It's never been my thing. So true, apocalyptic arrows. It's a mixed bag. I mean, depends on where part of the country you're in. People on the left hate us. Sorry about that, people. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sorry about that, people. Come on back. I love it much. It's okay, Dave. It's okay. I hope the people come back. We're talking about crossbows today. Crossbows. The one thing I like about a crossbow, I will say this, is they're quiet. They're easy. Anyone can use one. Anyone. They're simple to use. It doesn't take long to be proficient with a crossbow. Yes, it's the silence. It's the, yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Nico. That's awesome. Keep me updated, Nico. You're an awesome guy. Subscribe to Nico S. This guy's a slingshot hunter. He hunts small game with slingshots. Okay, he hunts pigeons and eats them. Yes, that's the one. That's it. Yes, it's stealthy. That's the advantage the crossbow has. I mean, a firearm is loud. You know. Now, firearms are powerful, but they're also very loud. They're also very, like, you know, that is also true. And you can reuse the ammunition a lot more. I can tell you I've reused a lot of my bolts. I broke a few, but it's very rare for me to do that. Particularly on my cold steel cheap shot. They are, but actually, crossbows are getting smaller. You've never seen these repeating crossbows, myself, like the Mini Striker, the Steam bows. It's true that firearms, and also, there are a lot of air pistols, like PCP air pistols, that are easy to carry. There's less lethal launchers, but the point is, the crossbows, yeah, they may be a little bit, some of them can be. I mean, we got new rubber-powered crossbows. I'm going to tell you, these are these new 3D printed rubber-powered crossbows that are easier to carry. They're easier to carry. I've seen pictures of these 3D printed rubber-powered crossbows that are just awesome because they're not as cumbersome. They can fit in the backpack, or they're like the pistol size. They're not small pistol size, but they shoot small bolts, and they can shoot multiple ones. You just pull back, boom, pull back, boom, pull it back, and So, Kasawa, there are rubber-powered crossbows, pistol crossbows that are powerful, but yet almost as compact as a firearm. Something you could fit on, it's like a large pistol. So yeah, there are ones out there. You gotta know where to look. For me, a secondary weapon would be this. A knife, yes, but I can tell you this. Okay, let's put it this way. I have less lethal launchers, pistols, stuff like that. Less lethal pistols and stuff like that. But if I'm going for like a lethal secondary weapon, I'm pretty good with this. But I can also use other things. I mean, I got pistol launchers. I'm thinking about getting some PCP air pistols pretty soon. And they have firearm power, by the way. I can get PCP air rifles and pistols with firearm power. I also have a Sig Sauer MPX. So semi-automatic. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So I got something. You have to understand, not really. It depends on the ammunition that you're doing. If it's shooting a bolt from a crossbow, it will be powerful. Because you have to understand, a bolt or an arrow, it doesn't operate the same way, let's say, a bullet will. You can literally kill a deer with a 20-pound bow. So basically, it's the arrow itself that's the lethality. I mean, a lot of your crossbows out there, although the poundage is hardcore, the FPS would be much lower compared to, let's say, like a bullet. You know what I mean? It would be Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, a blade, yeah. I have different kinds of knives. Yeah, but this is, yeah, this is one of my good throwing axes to carry around, you know, I would say. I always say, you know, learn different kinds of weapons, I would say. Learn different kinds of survival techniques. Be creative, you know? For example, you know, you can launch darts, lethal steel darts, from a slingshot. You know? You can do that. But yeah, I got machetes. One of my favorites here, this is my favorite machete. I like to carry this out in the bush with me. It's just one of my favorite machetes because it can be used for so many different things. So, it has multiple use. I like the leaf-shaped blade. Very sharp, you know. Cool. I mean, Rambo knives are okay. I don't like anything with a serrated spine, personally. I like the Rambo knives. Would I want one? Probably not. Let me, woo. There we go. Now, a lot of times when I'm on the street, I carry one of these. Now, you probably can't get this in the UK, but it's pepper gel. It's legal in my country, so. But yeah. It's very good. Thank you. I prefer light. Oh, you like that, don't you? Oh, well, yeah, I understand that. I would suggest you get a knife like this. This one's an interesting one. This one's sharp, too. This is like, I call this the Derringer of knives. You know what I mean? I bought several of these from, basically it's sharp, you can carve. It's, this is a fighter's knife here. And it's, maybe not legal in the UK, but, ones like this, yeah. With a finger hole, yeah. Just well, thank you, Shireen. God bless you. You're an awesome lady. You're actually the real version of Xena Warrior Princess. Warrior Princess. You're the real version of that. So much of that is Thank you, Apocalyptic Arrows. I'm glad you like it. Yes. But yeah, oh, welcome, Shireen. You're always welcome here, Shireen. Now, this is my favorite throwing axe. Perfect size. Lightweight. But that being said, we have all sorts of things. Never buy any of these, by the way. These are horrible throwing knives. They're shit. They're not worth their money. Waste of money. Well, I think she'd be more of a cousin than a daughter. Myself. Anyway. Oh, how do you do, decent guy? How you doing? Alright, we're talking about crossbows today, decent guy. Do you like crossbows? Now, unfortunately, because of YouTube policy, I can't show any YouTube crossbows in a live stream because they might mistake it for a firearm. Ooh. You know what I mean? Ah, you love crossbows. Well, you came to the right place. We're talking about different kinds of crossbows. We got some repeating crossbows on the market that are good for self-defense and home defense. We're talking about crossbows, you know, different kinds. Now, I always say, if you're going to buy a crossbow, never buy a cheap one. Or one that's not, one that's extremely cheap. I bought one for 40 bucks, a pistol crossbow. And that, after a week, that thing just fell apart on my ass. You know? So, don't buy a cheap ass crossbow. You're going to get what you pay for. Guaranteed it's going to break down. There probably won't be any crossbow action, but there will be recurve bow action. So. Okay. Other things to consider. I don't know where that is. I don't know what that is, decent guy. That is very true. Recoil, you don't have to worry about recoil with the crossbow because the limbs do all the work. So true, myself. So true. Like I said, there's no recoil with a crossbow. There's no recoil, and I like that. It's a smooth shot. Alrighty then. Righty. I know about it, but I don't pay attention to it. Decent guy. So. Everyone's enjoying each other's company. Anyway. It's like I don't pay attention to the Olympics. Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you this. The best thing I can tell you, decent guy, if you want to buy a crossbow, I would say there's several ones I would suggest. What kind of crossbow would you like? If you were going to get a crossbow, if you're going to buy a crossbow, what would you want the crossbow for? Because there's different kinds. Different kinds. That's a good repeating crossbow. But we have to know what decent guy would want the crossbow, want his crossbow for. Because there's plenty of good crossbows in the market, but oh, then I would say you would go with there's one by with Dork Sprave has one that has a under magazine, and there's also the Cobra Adder, heavy duty crossbow. Perfect for those urban settings. You know what I mean? I would suggest the Cobra Adder for you. The Cobra Adder. Fast-paced combat. In that case, I would suggest... Oh. Okay, you want fast-paced combat, right? Fast-paced combat, okay. So it's going to be in an urban setting, in like in alleyways. I would say the best thing to go with is a steam bow. You can go. There's a steam bow. You can go with the Steambow Stinger AR6. It'll be fast paced. It'll be fast enough. Or you can go with the whip shot. The whip shot will be pretty fast. It's basically a compound bow that has a magazine where you pull it back, and it's pretty fast. You know what I mean? Exactly, Apocalypse Arrows. I would say go with the Mini Striker if you live in America. Small but powerful. Fit in the backpack. Have it, you know. If you're looking for speed, I would say go with the whip shot. Because the whip shot is a lot faster. You'll be able to basically pull back. You know what I mean? And you'll never have to reload. I would suggest the whip shot as a backup. For example, the Cobra Adder is awesome, but also get the whip shot. So I'd go with the whip shot, decent guy. It's not a crossbow per se, but it will be a lot faster. I'll tell you that. And it does have a magazine. It's a very clever device. You have made a good choice there. That's by Steambow. Steambow makes the whip shot. You'll love that one. But I would say that the Steambow Stinger AR-6 will do the same trick, but exactly apocalyptic arrows. I would say, you know, the Steambow can actually penetrate a skull with a 90-pound limb. And of course, if you have, even with the 50-pound limb, let's say you have little bodkin bolts. Those things can penetrate pretty deep. I mean, I've had a friend who said it went through his archery target, went the little bodkin bolts into wood. So yeah, basically even with a 50-pound limb with bodkin bolts can penetrate a skull with the Steambow Stinger AR-6. You bet it can, with an iron-tipped bolt. Iron Man. Give me a second, I need to get some water. 1 second, people. Don't leave me yet. I'm just getting some water. So true. Have you ever tried those bodkin bolts? There we go. Alright. Alright. Got some water. Yeah. Yeah. So true. So true. Apocalypse arrows. So true. Let's not forget that our European ancestors were using crossbows. If you can remember. If you look in our history, the crossbow is not a new tool in the hands of, of our ancestors. So. I'm glad you agree. I would also suggest apocalyptic arrows getting the whip shot. Trust me, get the whip shot. You'll love that one. We got 9 likes. That's pretty good for this. Just in case they try to ban crossbows in your country. I think they're really getting close to that one. You know what I mean? Crazy. But the whip shot is legal for you to own. So I know that feeling, apocalyptic arrows. Yeah, I've shot into wood before. I know that feeling. An air rifle, a slingshot, steel ball bearings and a slingshot will do the trick. A good slingshot and steel ball bearings will take care of raccoons. A good air rifle will do that. Doesn't even have to be a largely powerful air rifle. It just has to be, you know, like a one that's medium powerful. That you got some good, you know, it'll kill them. Just don't try to do it with a BB gun. That's not going to work, you know. You'll need something heavy duty. You can even use a crossbow, like a pistol crossbow if you wanted to. But I would say, you know, like simple as this. Simplest tool to use. Simple tools right here. Get yourself proficient. I would just use one of these. Baboosh. Good one. Apocalyptic. That's not my problem, Mr. Nobody. Not my problem. That's his channel. I don't control, I don't have any say-so on that. Yeah, it could work. I would say get some, I would say, maybe some piranhas, some Crossman piranhas would do the trick. You know, maybe shooting with some Crossman piranhas. You know, .177 Crossman piranhas would probably do the trick, you know. I know. It's not my problem. I can't help you with that. You know what I mean? That being said, you know, I could just, for example, I can take one of these steel ball bearings and I can deal with raccoons quite easily from a distance. As long as it's one of them. There's steel ball bearings here. You want to have one that's a good size. You know what I mean? Aim for the head. With a good slingshot. Pull it back. Yeah. That's all I need to do. So true, Apocalyptic, so true. But yeah, I have different kind. I have this one. It's one of my favorite wrist rockets. I bought this on eBay. I like flat band slingshots, not tubes. I despise tubes because I like the fact I can anchor it. I can draw it back. Babooshka. Yeah. Beautiful. Ah, thank you, Apocalyptic Arrow. I always say, learn to use different tools. You know, learn to use different tools, and you'll be in good shape. Train with your tools too. Train with every weapon you got. Be proficient with every weapon you have. Well then, maybe I might suggest you buying this or making, because it's going to be hard to get in the UK. You can make one, but it'll be hard to buy one. I would suggest making a slingshot rifle. You can get the trigger releases, or you can make it yourself. Make the trigger yourself. It's basically, making a rifle where you can. There's different ways of making it. You can look it on the internet. You can make yourself a slingshot rifle, and they can shoot these steel balls here. Know what I mean? And no problem. Steel ball, lead ball. I would say only use flat bands for a slingshot rifle for the speed. You want to gain a lot of momentum and speed, So I would say, yeah, well, if that's a problem for you, pulling it back, I have no problem pulling back a slingshot, but you're a young guy. I'm surprised you do have a problem drawing a slingshot and pulling it back. I have no problem doing it. That's no problem with me. But yeah, get yourself a slingshot rifle. They're not banned. That's not what I'm saying. Slingshots aren't banned, but neither are slingshot rifles. From what I heard from people in the UK, you can't get one. You can't buy. It gets held up in customs to the slingshot rifle. If you try to buy a slingshot rifle and import it into the UK, it'll be held up in customs. They won't, So I would say making one would be a better way to do it. They can. I would say a slingshot rifle would be up your alley if you don't want to basically pull one back. What I'm saying is that if you don't like to pull... That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, you call them crossbow slingshot, but the term that's been used a lot is slingshot rifle. That's what I'm talking about. They're not hard to make. Do you have a garage full of tools? Yeah, you can make one. Probably make the trigger too. No problem. But if you make one, may I suggest that you make sure to only use flat bands, and you'll be okay. And there's different kinds of slingshot rifles. There's ones that are longer, ones that are shorter. Depends on what you want it for. If you want a long one like a musket, by all means do so. The long ones will have a lot more power. You could even make a pistol slingshot rifle if you wanted to. Like a pistol slingshot if you wanted to. They could shoot multiple balls if you wanted to. I've seen those made. There's a lot of tutorials you can do. You know, for example, there's these slingshot pistols that are really effective. They can shoot steel ball bearings, things of that nature. They can shoot multiple shots, but if you wanted to, if you wanted to keep it simple, you can have one that's basically like a pirate's pistol. You know what I mean? And shoots one shot. You know, like a muzzle loader. You know, pow. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff you can do, man. A lot of stuff you can do. If you want a slingshot rifle, you can make one the way you want it. You know? I would suggest, but here's the thing. If you get one, don't put tubes on it. By all means. Don't put any, don't put the surgical tubing on it. Surgical tubing is slow. You won't get any power with that. No, no, no. You have to use flat bands. Flat bands will give you power. Trust me on that one. Trust me. A good idea, Apocalyptic. I mean, trust me, rubber-powered pistols, rubber-powered rifles, good stuff. Another thing, but I personally, I like, I'm very good with this. I'm very good. I've been shooting since I was 5 years old. So I've been shooting slingshots since I was 5 years old. So I'm very good with this. And this was a gift for me by my good buddy Can Vandal. It's the Scout X. Very reliable slingshot made by Simple Shot. You know? Oh, another weapon that is very simple to make, that you can train with, is a simple short javelin. All you need is a concrete nail, a drill, like a broomstick handle, something about as thick as a broomstick handle. It'll be about this. It won't be long, and it's a simple throwing weapon. You know what I mean? They're like little war javelins. I would suggest it. No, that's pretty slow. I wouldn't suggest bike inner tubes. That's a very slow moving rubber. That's not the best elastic, I would say. No, don't use that. Although it's been traditionally used, it's not. The new elastic is so much better. It's much more. If you're going to make your own bands, I would say use toning bands. Toning bands are the best, by the way. They'll give you a lot of speed. You just got to learn how to cut them with a rotary cutter. And, yeah. Awesome, apocalyptic. Awesome. I want to see that. I like to see that. You know, another thing that I would suggest apocalyptic is this. A simple cane. Apocalyptic, a simple walking stick. Still legal in your country. You can make a golf club cane. It's very thin, but very strong, by the way. Send it out, you know. I made this, you know, simple way to make it. Trust me, but that's for a different story. We're talking crossbows here. Alright. I think that's about it. I mean, we've talked about the outdoor, you know. I think that I'm done. I think we've had a lot of fun. Yeah. God bless everybody, and all glory goes to God. I'll try to show you. Okay, Apocalypse, that's awesome. Now I've been at work, so I'm trying to get back through some videos. I've had several videos of I have basically in my history. I have your videos. I just haven't gotten around to watching them. But I'll leave a nice comment on your recent videos. And I've been watching some other videos, and that's cool, Apocalyptic. Very cool. Cool, Apocalyptic. Well, I think you're very lucky it's time for me to go. Otherwise, it would be time for you to go, Buffalo. Thank you. I think it's time for me. God bless you, Apocalyptic. God bless everybody, and all glory goes to God. And amen. Good night, everyone.